Welcome back, everyone. We are doing another episode of Indie Reads Aloud. And today we have returning author Liz Bullard in the studio. Thank you, Liz, for coming back and joining me again.
Thank you for having me. I can't wait to chat.
It's so much fun to have you on the program. You're so delightful.
Oh,
Um,
thank you, and likewise.
Thanks. So, Liz Bullard, if you don't already know her, is a multi genre author, coach, and podcast host of eReads podcast. So, look that one up. Her works, including the Prophecy series and the Lira Summer Mystery series, are acclaimed for their fast paced plots, vivid characters, and immersive settings. Liz also helps writers overcome creative blocks and achieve their goals. When not writing or coaching, she enjoys cooking, gardening, and spending time with her corgi, Preston. It's a full life you've got going on there.
It's pretty full, and you know what? I'm enjoying it, thankfully.
That's fantastic. So, when you are cooking, what is your favorite thing to cook?
Oh, like I'm a big like savory or seafood person, but I just like I one will just love to find a recipe, go to the store, grab everything, or like, okay, what do I have here? And like let's throw and make a mosh posh of things. So, ooh, stew or anything seafood based, I would have if I had to narrow it down.
So, are you a recipe person or are you an experimental person?
More of a recipe. If I don't have to experiment, I don't like I love a recipe and then to kind of like, "Ooh, what if I add a little bit of cinnamon to this? Or what if I add a little this?" But give me the recipe and then let me go rogue from there.
So now, of course, the question is, are you a plotter or a pantser? Do you
Ooh,
do you write with an outline just like you use a recipe to cook, or do you just wing it from start to finish?
I wish I was a plotter. I'm a total like pantser. Like I'll see a scene and then it becomes like a recipe in the sense of like, oh, it needs a little bit more of this. It needs a little bit of this. It needs a little bit. So there's that initial spark, and then it's just let's kind of what are the other things that are going to elevate this?
That's fantastic. Oh my gosh. So you might be, we like to call them plantsers, little plotter, little pantsing, and mix it together.
More
Stir
and more.
stir
Yeah.
vigorously with a healthy dose of insomnia and you got a book, right?
1000%. I think that is exactly the recipe.
It's what's worked for me. Okay. So today you're going to be reading book 2 from the Lira Somers mystery series,
Yes.
Chasing Nightmares. Tell us a
Hmm.
little bit about Lyra. What is her most Give us this. What is her most redeeming and her most frustrating character?
Yeah, I think her most redeeming is like she tries. I mean, it may not go the way you think it will, but like she tries. She makes an attempt to connect, to solve things, to be a good-ish person. She doesn't have the best coping skills. That's probably her struggle. So sometimes, it's one step forward, two steps back, which I think you see a lot of this in book two. The mystery is still there, but it's this one is much more character driven. So that the series feels a little bit more rounded. So yeah, she's a one step forward, two steps back kind of girl.
So when she was speaking to you and landing her thoughts on the page, what did you argue most with about?
Yeah, I thought she'd be nicer. When I wrote this, like she kept having this edge to her, like being reactive. She just was very prickly, and I'm just like, no, why aren't you like the prophecy series, like having a little bit of softness and like just really did it. And I had to just say, you know what, I'm going to lean in to this character. She wants to be hard. She wants to have this edge to her, and there's reasons for it, right? Like she's had a lot of hardship. She's had a lot of people she loves end up passing away, and you get to see a little bit more of that in this one. In book two, in book one, it's talked about, but you really get to see in action about how these things weigh on her. And I think it helps you love her a little bit more. It helps you have a
Mhm.
little bit more more humanity. But
Sure.
yeah, she's mean, and that's who she wanted to be for now.
I love how you describe her as being prickly. That's so much fun.
Thank
That's
you.
just awesome. Okay, so set us up.
Yep.
What is the synopsis for book two without giving away the ending for book one? Can you do that?
Absolutely. So in
Okay.
book two, we see Lyra keeps having this dream about fire, and someone she loves is close to the flames. And this time, to solve this, she needs to work together with Detective Tomas Heinz. And as she's getting closer to him, the man in the dream becomes of a much more of a presence. And so it complicates her personal relationships a little bit more than we've seen before.
Well, that's intriguing. Okay.
Hmm.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Nice. Very nice. Okay. I am sitting in my chair. I'm
Okay.
ready. I'm excited. When you are ready, please take the microphone and read aloud.
Okay. Alarm is starting, and I'm going to read chapters one and possibly two for y'all.
Awesome.
So, chapter one. I wish I never met you, I grumbled through clenched teeth while struggling to stand on the boogie board in the center of the community pool. My outstretched arms and legs shake like hospital jello as my eyes shoot imaginary darts at Detective Tomas Heinz. It is much too late in the day for his mess. I'm not in my typical uniform of cargo pants, tee, and fanny pack, which only adds to my mounting irritation. Nope, I am wearing swimming shorts over a one piece that Toya, my annoying bestie and former social worker, picked out. Detective Tomas, first grade detective in the investigative crimes unit and tormentor in the community crime preventers program, paces the length of the pool. His long strides are like a cat traipsing on the New York City ledge while he torments his victims, me. Detective work is more than mental strength. It's about the body as well, he advises, tilting his chin toward me. Lyra, hands higher and firmer. It will stabilize your body. I raise my hands, but only so I'm sure he sees my middle finger. Why don't you stabilize your body? I mutter, running out of stamina for a more fitting insult. Miss Lenora on the board next to me laughs. There's a few things I'd like to do to stabilize his body, too. I almost fall from my board. When I regain balance, I turn to Miss Lenora, steady and firm. I don't think we have the same idea in mind, I say, imagining holding Detective Tomas's head below the pool water. While my mind pieces together a clever string of cuss words, Detective Tomas blows his whistle. The sound is piercing as it bounces off the echoing pool walls. Great job, community crime preventers. Climb out, towel off, and you are free to go until next week. And remember, CCPs are not cops, but vital to neighborhood safety. The citizen community crime preventers, minus myself, reply in our dismissal chant. Before the echoing chants fade, I'm paddling to the edge of the pool. That was fun. Believe it or not, it helps my knee pain too. Miss Lenora beat me to the pool's ledge. She pats her shoulders, waiting for me to pull myself up, like she is the spring chicken and I'm the one pushing 70. It was something, I respond, walking with her and the other CPs to put away the aqua boards. Looking across the pool, I ensure Detective Tomas is far enough from the changing rooms before I dash in that direction. The slap of my wet feet sound like ducks waddling through puddles compared to the soft patter of the other members. But I don't care. I'm going for speed and flawless execution. Reaching into my locker, I pull out my bag. Unfortunately, I needed to switch out my trusted fanny pack for a slightly larger drawstring bag, but it's better than the purse Toya tried to saddle me with. Wow, you move fast. I gotta step slow. These hips are too fragile for me to slip, Miss Lenora chirps as I wait to enter the stalls. Gentler than me, she opens her locker and retrieves her things. You taking a shower or waiting until you go get home? Watching as people head out in droves, I fear we will be the last ones left. So I say, I'll shower when I get home. Don't want to keep the nice detective waiting for us, right? Nodding empathetically, Lenora says, "That's right. Don't want to keep him waiting. Nice man like that. Hope he's going home to a hot dinner and a nice young thing." Miss Lenora hums her way into the changing stall, though her last words turn my stomach sour. Discarding the swimsuit, I emerge and feel more myself as I straighten my cargo pants and black tee. Functional and practical. My flat twists look great, though beads of sweat have curled the edges of my hair. "I like your hair like that. Can you do mine like that one day?" I look at Miss Lenora, who stands a little higher than the counter wearing a matching sweatsuit. My eyes travel to her hair, which is full of straight, fine gray strands that seem difficult to style like mine. I shrug and say, "I'll try to do it for the next class." Miss Lenora's eyes sparkle like the Hudson River with the sun when the sun is setting. With her cloudy cataract eyes, it's a perfect match. When we walk out of the changing area, Lenora goes first, and I shift my gaze around the room until I spot Detective Tomas chatting with a fellow CCP. "Good," I mutter and sprint after Lenora, who has almost made her way down the hall into the exit. I say a silent prayer that Toya is idling by the curve so we can be home free. Oh, drat. I wanted to ask Detective Tomas if my granddaughter could come next time. She didn't sign up, but I think it might be good to have her come and meet a friend or two. She's just been moping around and it's making me a little concerned. Miss Lenore pivots to head back toward the pool, and an electric current shoots through me. "How about I email him tonight? We don't want to keep Toya waiting, right?" I realize this is the second time I've used this excuse, but I'm hoping by some miracle Miss Lenora has some short-term memory, or I've ladled on the guilt enough that she will make haste to the car. Her shuffling stops as she considers my proposition. "I guess you're right. You can send a message, though I like conducting my business in person and not over some screen." I breathe a sigh when she is back at my side. We are steps from the door. Hallelujah. Keeping her mind off Detective Tomas, I say, "Your granddaughter's been staying with you. How's that been?" Her steps quicken, matching the pace of her words. I love having Ella around. She comes by from time to time, but never for long periods like this. It's such a treat to have her. The door cracks open, and I welcome the stale air into my lungs. Finally, I breathe. Toya honks and waves at us. She is in the Caring Hands Adoption Agency transport van, and I can't wait to see what expired snacks she has in the glove compartment. Skipping down the steps, the community center door open, and the remaining CCPs exit. Things are going well until I hear his voice. It makes me want to hike Lenora over my shoulder and throw her in the back of the van. "Lyra, can I see you a second?" Detective Tomas calls, and my veins run cold. I consider turning to look at him, but Miss Lenora ruins those plans. I consider not turning to look at him, but Miss Lenora ruins those plans. "Go ahead and talk to him, dear. I'll make my way to the car. My body is getting a bit stiff after all the movement. Must be time for my medicine. Don't forget to ask him about Ella coming next week. Thank you." I watch as she makes her way down the stairs, and I feel the heat of Detective Tomas's body behind me. "Are you going to make me talk to your back?" "Better than looking at your front," I want to say. Instead, I blurt, "Can Lenora's granddaughter come to class?" "What?" I face him and keep my sights to his sculpted jawline and expressive eyes, though my eyes try to flicker lower. I resist. "Can Lenora's granddaughter come to class?" She wanted me to ask, so I'm asking. Shoulders far broader than mine shrug. Of course, anyone can come. Good. I spin on my heels and step down when he calls me again. "Lyra, we need to talk." "No, we don't." Dios mío, ayúdame. His Puerto Rican accent thickens as I frustrate him. I turn to him. "God won't help you. He doesn't like you. That's why he sent me to you to harass you. Lyra, come up these steps and talk to me. How long are you going to continue to act like a child about what happened? It was an honest mistake, one you are making a bigger deal of each time we run into each other." Detective Tomas rests his hand on his trim waist, like his words will close the case of irrational behavior I'm having. I know the consequences, but there is no way I'm backing out now. So, in pure Lear fashion, I double down. Standing on the steps of the community center with mid-June sun casting an evening hue over the city, I take 2 steps toward the detective and place my finger directly on his chest. A move that sends a strange jolt through me, but no backing down, right? I'll have you know, I will act childish as long as I want because you don't control me. You don't get to decide how I feel. I do. And what I did was not a mistake, it was yours. And I will forever be mad until you admit it. So go back, so go be a labradoodle to someone else. Turning on my heels, I ignore Toya's head shaking as she waits in the van with Miss Lenora. Tomas says nothing until until my hand is on the car door. Clearly, he is smart enough to know I need distance. Golden retriever, he calls as I land my behind in the seat. What? I click my seatbelt, hoping Toya will take this as a hint and drive off. She does not. She leans closer to get a full view of Detective Tomas and his confident glide to the car. Showing his perfectly white canines, he clarifies. The term is golden retriever boyfriend, not labradoodle. At least that's what my niece told me the other day. Something about TikTok, book talk, or something on social media she saw. So I am a golden retriever and not a labradoodle. He pats the top of the van. You ladies drive safe, and remember, CCPs are not cops, but vital to neighborhood safety, Lenora proudly chants from the back of the seat as I stick my little finger out the window for Mr. Golden Retriever to see. And I will stop there.
So much that you bring animal metaphors into your work.
Yes,
So much fun. Very fun.
gotta have animals and food. That's very consistent.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with either of those things.
Yes.
It definitely brings us closer to these characters when we
Hmm.
can relate to them in the same terms that we relate to each other. So I
Yeah.
love that. Love that. Where do we
Thank
go
you.
with book three? What can we expect?
Yeah.
I mean, don't give away anything, but I'm an impatient reader.
Yeah.
So what can we expect with book three?
So something that's both consistent in book 1 and 2 is she keeps having dreams about this man that she can't see, right? She can't see his face, and we resolve that in book 3. So what I'll say is that comes to a close. And I think we see Lyra step more into being an amateur sleuth. So she does some of well, from amateur sleuth to private eye is where I want to take that direction. So she's just been kind of grasping at the wind. And I think that's always going to be her. But now I think in book 3, will start to have people come to her with cases that they want to be solved into the dreams.
Very cool.
So
Is this a three-book
much
series
more
trilogy,
mystery coming
or do
together.
you? Yeah, is this a three-book trilogy, or do you see the possibility of expanding to four and more?
I think it's definitely a 4 more. Like, I would love this to be like the Alex Cross series or the Stephanie Plum series, where it's just you just constantly see the character grow and the family and the dynamic. Like we're just hanging out. That's really what I want this to be.
That's super fun. I love that. When can we expect to see book three on our shelves?
Yeah, I don't know if sad news, not sad news, but next year I plan to not publish. I just want to write. I just want to write as many
I like that.
stories, and then you know what I mean? Because I think for indies, I think the hardest thing is trying to write, market, and all of those things. So I said, if I work on just there's enough of a backlist for people to continue to get to know me and all of that, promoting those and just creating some stories in these series, maybe in some new series, and then slowly putting those out. So maybe end of 2026 or mid 2027.
Excellent. Yay. I'm so thrilled that you're going to spend some dedicated writing time
Yeah.
because, as you say, so many of us don't get a chance to do that on a regular
Right.
basis. Marketing is a challenge for us. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish you well in your writing endeavors, and
Thank
I'm
you.
so excited. I know you're going to be on the program because we haven't gone through all your books yet. So
That's right.
you're going to be coming back, which excites me.
Yes.
So that's fantastic. I hope you do well this summer. Enjoy your writing extravaganza. And remember, the next time you publish a new book, you got to come back and read to me.
Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you, listeners.
Thank you.